We do not really think, we are barely conscious until something goes wrong. It is not knowing, but the love of learning that characterizes the scientific man. The entire universe is perfused with signs, if it is not composed exclusively of signs. Every new concept first comes to the mind in a judgment. The essence of belief is the establishment of a habit. It is easy to be certain. One has only to be sufficiently vague. The pragmatist knows that doubt is an art which has to be acquired with difficulty. We, one and all of us, have an instinct to pray, and this fact constitutes an invitation from God to pray. Mathematics is distinguished from all other sciences except only ethics, and standing in no need of ethics. My language is the sum total of myself. The idea does not belong to the soul, it is the soul that belongs to the idea. All the greatest achievements of mind have been beyond the power of unaided individuals. Effort supposes resistance. It is a common observation that those who dwell continually upon their expectations are apt to become oblivious to the requirements of their actual situation. Three elements go to make up an idea. The first is its intrinsic quality as a feeling. The second is the energy with which it affects other ideas, an energy which is infinite in the here-and-nowness of immediate sensation, finite and relative in the recency of the past. The third element is the tendency of an idea to bring along other ideas with it. There is a kink in my damned brain that prevents me from thinking as other people think. We cannot begin with complete doubt. In all the works on pedagogy that ever I read, and they have been many, big, and heavy, I don't remember that anyone has advocated a system of teaching by practical jokes, mostly cruel. That, however, describes the method of our great teacher, experience. The opinion which is fated to be ultimately agreed to by all who investigate is what we mean by the truth, and the object represented in this opinion is the real. That is the way I would explain reality. No general description of the mode of advance of human knowledge can be just which leaves out of account the social aspect of knowledge. That is of its very essence. What a thing society is. The working man, with his trade union, knows that. Men and women moving in polite society understand it, still better. But bohemians, like me, whose work is done in solitude, are apt to forget that not only is a man as a whole little better than a brute in solitude, but also that everything that bears any important meaning to him must receive its interpretation from social considerations. The essence of belief is the establishment of a habit, and different beliefs are distinguished by the different modes of action to which they give rise. Bad reasoning as well as good reasoning is possible, and this fact is the foundation of the practical side of logic. If man were immortal, he could be perfectly sure of seeing the day when everything in which he had trusted should betray his trust, and, in short, of coming eventually to hopeless misery. He would break down, at last, as every good fortune, as every dynasty, as every civilization does. In place of this we have death. I think of consciousness as a bottomless lake, whose waters seem transparent, yet into which we can clearly see but a little way. But in this water there are countless objects at different depths, and certain influences will give certain kinds of those objects an upward influence which may be intense enough and continue long enough to bring them into the upper visible layer. After the impulse ceases, they commence to sink downwards.